Welcome to our Friday video bulletin for the 30th of October. I'm down here now, partly sheltering from the rain, but also in the engine room of the church. This is the place where very few people go apart from the rats, and there are some very large boilers here which are keeping us warm this winter. The engine room of the church is in a number of different locations, not least my office of course, but most importantly in the body of the church where we all worship on Sundays. And it was there last Sunday that Father Fergus gave us his news that he'll be moving on before long to a post in London, and we should be so sorry to see him go, because it's been a really fantastic time with him here. But the life of the church continues, and before the end of November, I'm expecting to make announcements to you all about new curates for next year. We will say goodbye to Father Fergus in due course. Before he goes, we will be saying a belated goodbye to Father Louis Johnson, who left us to get ordained in the summer. So he'll be back preaching at Choral Evensong on the 22nd of November, the Feast of Christ the King, and also the Feast of St. Cecilia. And please do come along to that. And if you would like to contribute towards an ordination present for Louis, a belated ordination present, then please do contact the parish office or see the church wardens on Sunday. Well, the engine room is keeping us warm, and that warmth that we have is what's kept us going as a church over many months. And as the restrictions across the country have been becoming more severe, we've been thinking afresh about our pastoral response. If you know people within our congregation or those who have a looser connection to St. Nick's who would like some contact from the church, from our pastoral team, then please do speak to me or contact the office. We want to make sure that everyone is looked after at the moment, just as we're going forward looking after the community around us in the service which we give. Well, at the beginning of lockdown, when we had to close our building, but we made sure that the food donation boxes outside were contributing to the food bank, we were contacted by Mike and Lynn White, who said, well, look, can we take this outside our building? And we set up a Liverpool Parish Church Micah food donation point in the apartment block where they live in the city centre, grand old warehouse that it is, and Father Fergus has been catching up with them this week.
Hello, we're joined today by Mike and Lynn. Obviously we've been doing these Meet the Congregation, and it's a joy to come round to them, regulars. Mike and Lynn, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And I'm joined by Ian as well, who's going to be asking some of the questions as well as he
as we transition, I'm going to start taking over the Meet the Congregation duties, so that's very exciting. Michael and Lynn, how, you guys obviously you're mainstays of the congregation, but how did you first get connected to St. Nick's?
Well, I was the first one who had a connection, which is years ago before I even lived in Liverpool. I actually sang in the Orioles Singers briefly. So that was my first connection with St. Nick's. And then we began coming to St. Nick's 10 or slightly more years ago.
13 years ago.
Yeah. And then I must admit, we stopped coming to St. Nick's, and then we came back sort of 2-3 years ago.
Well, I'm glad we got you back.
Well, we came because my brother had passed away, and I wanted him to have the funeral at St. Nick's. So we had the funeral there, and then Father Crispin came back to the flat and asked me why I wasn't going to church. And so he said, please come back. And so we have him. After that, the year after that, I got confirmed. So it's been quite a journey in St. Nick's.
remember your confirmation well. We coming up to 2 years ago. It was All Saints, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's right.
It doesn't seem like yesterday. One of my first jobs in the parish was running that confirmation class, and it was
That's right.
it was a great joy and a pleasure.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
And you're unusual in that you live in the parish. That's right, isn't it?
I think one of the first things Crispin told me actually was that we were only, I think it was either before us or after us, I think there were only 28 people in the parish who were on the electoral roll who lived in the parish, which is remarkable.
No, well, it's very good to have you. And how have you found the last, obviously the last few months have been difficult for everyone. How are you finding things? How are you
Yeah, it has been difficult in parts, although I'm back in work. I've been back in work full time this week, but in general, I'm back in 3 days a week. But I think for me, I miss company, really. I miss socialising, I miss entertaining, especially. So it's a bit more difficult in that way for me.
Yeah, I don't think Lynn copes without being able to invite people round to feed them.
I have to say that was one of the great highlights of that confirmation group was Lynn's Sunday dinners that she would prepare for us. They were absolutely glorious. And
one of the main things I'm hoping for when we finally get done with all this.
Definitely, you're invited.
Well, right now I've got some friends that are really quite well. Who've had accidents. Two of them fallen down the stairs and hurt themselves, and another one wasn't very well with a urinary tract infection and norovirus. So I've been like the soup kitchen. So I've been making soup and delivering it.
Oh, very good, very good. Oh well, it's a delight to speak to you, and thank you for all you do in the parish. I know you're both involved with various initiatives we have, and indeed, Lynn, you are the newest member of the PCC, and indeed member of the Deanery Synod. So
yes,
a crucial and important person. So
really,
yeah, absolutely.
So do come and say hello to Michael and Lynn after service on Sunday, and also to me and Fergus while he's around.
Wonderful.
And Ian, definitely when this is all over, you're very welcome for Sunday lunch.
Oh, very good. You'll have to take them up on that.
Right.
Lovely to speak to you guys, and thank you for being our Meet the Congregation this week.
Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Well, Mike and Lynn have been with us for a few years now, and they have been very much part of the worshipping life of this church. And I know that they have also had a lot of comfort from some of the extra services, such as our All Souls service, and that's coming round again as an annual thing. So this Sunday at 6 o'clock we will have a choral Eucharist for All Souls. If you would like someone remembered at that service, please do write their name down on the list on Sunday morning, or contact the office in advance with the name. So you're all most welcome to the All Souls service, where we've also invited back those for whom those families for whom we've taken funerals this year. But of course on Sunday morning we have All Saints Day. Those two feasts are put together in the church's calendar. So please do come along on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock to celebrate that great feast in the church's year. It is of course at 10 o'clock in the morning, either in person or via the live stream on YouTube. Please do have a very good weekend.